Hello, this is Haskuu of Haskuu Gaming Inc. And I'm going to be bringing you a little bit of Starcraft 2 matchmaking. I just feel like making videos and I don't have anything better to do right now. So as you can see, I'm going to be over here wearing blue, and I'm going to be a random race. I'm against a red Zerg opponent, who's apparently level 64, whereas I'm 15. Oh dear, I'm Terran. This will go terribly. I just hope you're prepared for how badly this is going to go. So right now my computer's probably running a little bit slower than it normally would, simply because I have so many video files on it. I've got probably 4 or 5. I've recorded 4 or 5 videos already today, and I just felt like recording another one. So however long this video ends up being, that's how long the episode's going to be. I haven't really done a video like this yet, so I'm just going to do one of these. I figured that's probably something that's missing from my channel, is actually playing real Starcraft. Oh, I forgot to GLHF. Always bad manners. GLHF stands for good luck, have fun. It's a nice thing to say to your opponent at the beginning of the game, but I forgot. So I'm going to be just be chatting with this guy a little bit. It's always a nice thing to be able to do with your opponent. Just have a conversation. The poster he's talking about, if you go back to the beginning of the video, is actually it's the poster that was next to my name on the starting screen. And apparently he hasn't encountered that one before. It's not particularly uncommon. I like it because it looks cool, and it's one that actually like shows something that I was able to do and I'm proud of. So can go for some early gas here. I'm not exactly a StarCraft expert, so I can't really say too much about strategy. But I'm going to be going for a 2-Rax, build here. So I'm going to be making myself some Marines. It's not even just not being great at StarCraft in general, it's being terrible as Terran, but that's what I ended up with. That's why I'm playing random, so I'm going to give myself an orbital fortress here. I'm going to need some more supply, so I'm going to make myself another supply depot. And then I think I'll get myself a reactor on that one at the back, so partly so that I don't have to lift this off, and partly so that my enemy can't actually see what I'm doing. And I'm going to drop a scan on him. So unfortunately it was poorly placed scan, but he's got about 200 gas right now. Or he has mined about 200 gas, I should say. So I'm going to research stim, and I'm going to get some more Marines. Stim, I realize that a lot of people don't actually play StarCraft, so I'm going to explain what stim is. It is an ability by which you remove 10 life from one of your units in exchange for a serious movement speed and firing rate advantage. It increases it by quite a bit. It just as greatly increases it. So yeah, it's a major increase. So with this orbital command, I'm actually going to make myself a command center as well. With this orbital command, I can do a few things. I can call down a mule. I can call down extra supply and I can call down a scanner sweep. That was what I did over there. I didn't actually get much information, so I'm going to do it again. He has Zerglings. So it looks like he's going economy focused right now, which means that I can do the same. Which means I can feel free to take my second gas right here. And just kind of slowly build up an army. Don't really have to worry too much. However, what I could do is move out right now as Stim is finishing up. With a couple of Marauders. And you can see I've actually become supply blocked here. So Marauders are useful against heavily armored things. So I'm just going to wait until I've got this force ready. And then I'm going to move on out. I'm going to call down a mule. Now this is a little mining craft that will get me minerals at a very much so accelerated rate. And while I'm moving out with this, I'm going to grab combat shields. That gives my Marines 10 extra life. Basically, it lets them use Stimpack one more time. And now I've got a nice force here. I've got a force of 12 units. That being 10 Marines and 2 Marauders. I'm going to give myself a couple of Marines at the back here, just for safety's sake. I'm going to land this at my natural expansion so that I can gain more resources. And I'm just going to move these to here. I'm assuming he's taken his natural expansion. He hasn't. That's a little bit worrying. I may have misread. However, before I go in here, I am actually going to scan him, find out what he's got. Yeah, it looks like he's going economy. Oh, that's not actually his natural. Okay, that makes more sense then. This is his natural expansion, and he is very much so taking it. Good. So I'm going to be attacking this. See if I can't get some economic damage in. Now, he did actually run right by my army and decide to attack my own base, which means I'm going to be lifting up this so that he cannot attack it. Well then. He's never seen 2-rax timings. Gonna stim my units here. See if I can get this one guy past all that. And see if I can't actually take out this queen. That'd be kind of funny. But it's not... Okay, there's 2 queens there. That's not gonna happen then. So I'm going to build myself a couple more barracks here. Maybe a factory. Looks like I got him pretty committed to Zergling tech here, if you can call it tech. So I'm actually in a pretty nice spot here. And so I'm just going to do a little bit of hotkeying there. He's already trying to retake this, building some more defense. Looks like he's actually making an army now, which might be a good idea. Which could have been a good idea already, but you know. I mean, I hear it tends to be a good idea in a war game to make armies, but hey, what do I know? And I'm going to add a fusion core to each of these buildings, which will allow me to produce more from them. And because this is useless over there, I'm going to land it in my base and use it to make more SCVs. Now, because my opponent is apparently a very angry person, I can probably expect some sort of cheese from him. That would be a strategy that is difficult or near impossible to counter, intended just to win without needing to use any kind of skill. So I can probably see some amount of that from him That would be my prediction. So we'll see if that actually ends up being the case. In the meantime, though, I'm going to make myself a what's that called? Engineering bay. I'm going to make myself an engineering bay so that I can get some upgrades and make my units a little bit better.
Upgrade complete.
And now I'm going to scan his main base again. Looks like he's got roaches on the way, which means these marauders will be a good idea. I see. So that there was a changeling. It's basically
Additional supply deployments required.
this is what the supply drop is for in case that happens. We're going to actually make a couple more of these. So the changeling is a little scouting unit that looks like one of mine, but it isn't. So it's a kind of sneaky way of getting into your opponent's base to look around. So I've got a nice army going on right now. Got pretty good production. And I've got a big counter to both of his main pieces of tech. Those being Zerglings and Roaches at this stage, and I have Marauders, which are excellent against the Zerglings, or which are excellent against the Roaches, and Hellions, which are phenomenal against Zerglings because they do a burning attack that does a lot of damage, especially to light units. So as you can see, I'm just toasting away all those Zerglings there. That was almost no contest. And I'm going to move into this space. And I like fighting in a place like this because it's nice and confined. They can only hit a couple of my units at a time. And the Zerglings always work best when they can surround you, which in that case they cannot actually do. So that was a good play by him, actually. That was quite well played. He burrowed all of his Zerglings so that I couldn't see them. And then he attacked from underground, which means that I am now going to have to actually do something a little bit different than what I've been doing. Which is, first off, I'm actually going to finally be able to expand here. Like I have. And I'm going to make some Widow Mines, which are a nice little unit that burrows underground and explodes there. So that should be fun.
Unacceptable landing zone.
And so this game's actually been going on for a little while, but that's fine. I have some time. So now this base is actually completely out of minerals for me to mine. So I'm going to have to move all of these down to here. And now I have my army, and I also have these. These are Widow Mines. So how these work, and I'll demonstrate by putting them over here. They burrow under the ground, and when something activates them, they will explode and release an explosion, basically. It's probably the best word for it. So these right there, those right there are called locusts, and they are spawned by those, which are called swarm hosts.
Upgrade complete.
So, okay, excellent. So at this stage I have this. I'm going to build a tech lab on this. Meanwhile, I'm actually going to exchange these so that I can get some better units from my factory. I'm going to send this guy over to build me some more supply depots because I'm going to be needing those before too long. And now I can make something called a Banshee. So the way that this works is it can become invisible and it will ruin your day. That's my professional analysis. So let's just see if we can't. So it actually looks like these are in exactly the wrong place. If I move them back a little bit, then they won't actually be activating on those locusts every time. And you don't want them to activate on something like a locust that you can get rid of easily anyway. So now I can make something called a siege tank from here. Oh, right. Where'd the other one go? So those are always annoying to have to deal with. But I do now have this Banshee. Unfortunately, he now knows that I have it. One of the best ways of using Banshees is actually just to make sure that he doesn't know you have one, so that you can surprise him with it. But at this point, that's not going to be happening. So I might have to go for something else. No, I'm actually kind of stuck right now because I never play Terran unless I get it as random, and when I do, I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm just making more Marines, more Marauders. I was kind of hoping that early push would work out better, but it didn't end up doing very much. Now he'll be expecting me to attack by this land bridge again, which is exactly why I'm going around here, because all of his defenses are centered around that land bridge. They're expecting me to come from this direction, which is a little odd for a map, for a Starcraft map, because normally you can't get over there in relation to them. If this land bridge wasn't here, then I would not actually be able to get over there in the first place. Now, he's actually launching an attack and me at the same time as I'm launching mine against him. We'll see how this ends up working for both of us. And I'm going to withdraw to here, which is a nice defensive position, because should he start breaking down these rocks here and decide to swing around there, I can actually take care of him. I'm going to leave this Marine right about here. Just to make sure that these rocks are still at full health. And then I'm going to try moving out again. See how that works out this time. Just swing around this way. Oh, and there he is. In full force. That is a lot of Zerglings. Which is interesting. Because when you have a lot of Zerglings, that can happen. I'm honestly expecting him, at this point, to have gone for something other than just lots of Zerglings, which makes my army a little bit weak against him. But at the same time, he really shouldn't be making only Zerglings. Ah, there's some actual units. That's what actual units look like. So, at this point, I think I'm going to try and make a little bit of a cloaked hit and run here with my 2 Banshees. I'm going to repurpose this for making medevacs, which will allow me to heal any of my infantry units while I'm in the field. I probably shouldn't have actually revealed myself by doing that, but oh well. Cool. So that would be the swarm host once more. Where'd the swarm host go, more to the point? Ah. This is coming from down here. That died. And I'm getting correspondence. Just give me a minute here. So that didn't go very well. So I'm going to just make one last little push. It's not to be very good. Actually, I'm gonna make a slightly stronger push than that, I would hope. It's not gonna go very well for me. So, yeah, this isn't actually doing very well for me at all right now. If I could find out where his swarm hosts are, that'd be a nice thing to know. These guys, they can go with my army to help out with repairs. Other than that, there's not really a whole lot I can do at this stage. I'm trying to find those swarm hosts, though. There they are. I found them.
Base is under attack.
Also mutilisks.
Base is under attack. Our SCVs are under attack. Mineral field
So I'm just gonna make one last push here. Gonna go around once more.
attack.
Now, it's customary to say GG, good game, at the end of a game, but considering all this stuff, I don't think I will. So,
Base is under attack. Mineral field depleted.
however, he does have swarm hosts right here, which I can kill off pretty well before dying to mutilisks. So those tanks just deployed into siege mode, which allows them to fire farther, but also does not allow them to move at all under any circumstances ever. So it looks like all of those Mutalisks he had may be about to get taken out by Marines, which would be nice, but it's not going to happen. Close, but not quite. Which means my only option at this stage is to rush in and leave, which I will do now. So I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Thank you for watching.